All organizations are striving to reach their goals. Success begins with somebody that has a bright idea. If many obstacles are overcome, then the idea is turned into a product, placed into a branded cardboard box, and shipped to a customer. This process is repeated as many times as possible, creating happy customers and a successful business along the way. However, the business environment is dynamic. There are many success influencers, such as competition, that can quickly turn a growth company into an afterthought. Customers will determine which company is successful and which will fail based simply on their perceived value of available products. This begs the question, how can a company ensure that customers will value their product higher than the competition's? For decision makers to accurately answer a question such as this, they must first fully understand the current environment as well as influencers on the chosen action's outcome. Thankfully, most organizations are collecting data that can be compiled to create insight for decision makers. But this data is not natively in a form that supports anything beyond transactional decisions. For example, the ERP system is tracking products by SKU. Marketing is tracking campaigns on product groups. Operations is tracking products at the component level. And product is only one of many dimensions that needs to be understood. Trying to combine this transactional data with sales and environmental influencers on the fly in a timely manner is next to impossible. This, of course, is one reason why data warehouses exist. By modeling the data and placing it into systems that support ad hoc cross-functional analytics, decision makers can quickly get answers to questions without worry of mismatched source systems. Leapfrog BI is a high-level development tool designed from the ground up to streamline the creation of data marts. Efficiency is gained by automating repetitive tasks, creating complex transformations with simple selections, and guiding the development process with industry-standard best practices. Leapfrog BI accomplishes this at a much faster pace and lower cost as compared to traditional methods. A simplified view of a data mart project timeline is presented here. The initial phase includes requirements gathering and data modeling, which is then used by the development team to automate the task required to create and maintain a data mart. Leapfrog BI enables developers to work more efficiently, resulting in a much reduced development phase. Additionally, centralized control and monitoring reduces ongoing maintenance cost. Let's take a look at Leapfrog BI's user interface. After logging in, I'm presented with a list of available projects which have been predefined by my account administrator. If I have rights, I'll be able to view and edit project permissions and project lifecycle definitions. After selecting the project I will be working on, I can move over to the component area. Developers define behavior by selecting a type and template to base each component on. There are 7 types of components. Connections create connection strings to source and destination systems. Volatile and persistent stage components handle moving data from a source system to a controlled area, as well as buffering the source system in the case of a full Mart reload. Transformations enable developers to transform a source by defining joins, filters, expressions, pivots, set operations, and so on. Finally, dimensions and fact components build Mart tables. Here we're looking at a connection component. Each of the project-defined life cycles requires a separate connection definition. All other component types use connection components to designate where the source and destination is located. Let's take a quick look at a transformation component. In the component header, we can quickly review the upstream and downstream usage map. In the component detail, we can review the component's definition. The first block of detail displays a join that's been applied. I can quickly modify this join or define new joins. Each join requires an on-clause expression, which is easily accomplished with the built-in expression builder. Finally, this transformation component has a list of included output fields. By selecting a field, I can easily change the field source, collect statistics on the field, and review the field's usage map. After moving back to the component header, I can see that this transformation is used by a dimension. By selecting the dependent dimension's detail, I can then review its definition. The dimension's slow change dimension definition allows me to define how the dimension will track history. By simply placing each output field into an SCD category, I'm able to create a hybrid dimension in seconds. Each of the detail blocks define distinct behavior that this component will act upon. A filter has been applied to define incremental load behavior. Filters are based on Boolean expressions, which are also created in the expression builder. Fact components are typically the last type of component built, as they are dependent on dimensions being available for foreign key lookups. Here we see a list of dimensions that have been associated with this fact component. Once again, each detail block defines a distinct behavior that will be acted upon by this component. As with most fact tables, the field list includes only measures which are at the same grain as the combined foreign key. After all components have been defined, deploying is as easy as selecting the lifecycle to be deployed and building each component. An archive is then downloaded, which contains all of the project's components. These components are deployed to the target system, and once executed, they will create and maintain a data mart. Business users can now use the Mart to conduct exploratory analysis without being concerned with technical issues such as complex relationships or mismatched granularity levels. With a Mart in place, a cube can quickly be deployed to further simplify the user experience. Leapfrog BI is designed not only to streamline the process of creating data marts, but also greatly simplifies ongoing operational and maintenance tasks. Each component has a core set of configuration variables that are centrally managed, facilitating easy extendability. Custom logging is also captured during each component execution. Here we see the execution history of a fact component. By comparing the time-lapse chart to the load count chart, an administrator can proactively identify and address performance issues. Detailed logs related to this component are also only a click away. Field statistics are also centrally managed and can be manipulated to alter the component's behavior. Leapfrog BI has been designed from the ground up to streamline data mart development. Whether you're building a single mart or an entire warehouse, Leapfrog BI is here to help.